Hey Cherubs, Lulu here, jumping in to do you guys a reading. So let's just see what the energy and themes are for today. As always, asking that the messages that come through be from the highest light, for the highest good of all those who are connecting. Wow. Okay, we've got number 44 that's flipped out straight away. And then on the bottom, we've got the card of Sad Embrace in reverse. So this is something actually I was thinking of this rising, and the reminder here is for you to recognize how strong you've been throughout your life. Okay, so for those of you who are connecting with this, you will resonate with that message. Just take a little bit of time to look back and realize how strong you've been over certain times in your life. I just did a deep breath in then and release, because it's just like, you know, it took a lot to have that much strength. It took a lot to, you know, move through and master whatever you were trying to move through and whatever you were trying to balance, whatever you were trying to build. So yeah, I feel like there's a feeling that you, and tune into what that is for you. It's not sadness. You're not being asked to look at the sad aspects of perhaps why you had to be so strong at certain points in your life, or why you had to be, you know, or you may be in that space right now. But try and bring in a new feeling or acknowledgement of your internal strength. I was going to say your eternal strength, but yeah, your internal strength. So let's see what else. It's so important to stop and pause and take time to reflect on actually, you know, your achievements and what you've overcome and what you've done and how you've grown, and looking at the positive aspects of your journey, because it's much easier to look at the areas where you feel like you're still trying to get to a certain point or a certain place. You're trying to achieve something, you're not quite there yet, or whatever it is, but it's like you're never getting to that point where it's enough. So that's, you know, kind of why it's important to stop and take notice and acknowledge how far you've come and all that you've done. And I really do feel like this is a message of encouragement from Divine Spirit today. So that's what we're getting, which is kind of nice. All right, so anything else from this deck? And to, like, we did talk yesterday about inner child, like adult self, being nurturing and loving towards the inner child, and with that encouragement image there, that's very much still that nurture and encouragement type energy. And I'm just thinking of, you know, the way we speak to ourselves, you know, what kind of language motivates you? Because sometimes people can say things to you, or you can say things to yourself, and it doesn't inspire or motivate, but they could say something in a different way, and then just that one little thing gives you such a good feeling and motivation, encouragement to do something, or to have a new energy, or whatever it is. So, and this can be the way you speak to yourself even. Like, you might, if you've been someone that's criticized yourself heavily, or you're very judgmental of yourself or others, then, you know, this could be encouragement to change that slightly and shift how you speak to yourself and others. So there's that as well. All right, let's see, anything else? Okay, so we've got One Ring Circus on the side, we've got Rescue on the side, and then we've got Stuck in the Mud on the side. So it feels like, well, there's movement for one. We're stuck in the mud on the side, 24/6. This to me is like, this is very much about relationships and connections, these three cards. So 24 reduces to 6. This is about the power and the purpose behind our connections, and how loving connections can help us shift out of places and spaces where we may have felt stuck or spent a lot of time in. This card on the this rescue, there is that saying, there's very, like, no one's going to come and rescue you, you've got to rescue yourself, yada yada, that kind of thing. But there's also the thing too of when we are stuck in mud, we do feel like we're in that space, we have people come around us that offer us love and support in different ways. So that can be a form of rescue in itself. It's not rescuing exactly, but sometimes it's those small things which are really big things from others that do rescue us in a way, that do help us move forward. So that's what I'm getting with this. And the One Ring Circus, I always apply a different meaning, I think, to what it actually means in this deck, but who cares? I'm an intuitive reader, that's what I do. But this is like connection with others, and elephants, of course, are very family orientated, very loyal, very protective, and they like to be connected. So yeah, that's why I say those three cards just are speaking to me about connection. So a lot of our strength and encouragement is within connection with others at this time. Oh, I haven't even shuffled this deck, but this one just got my attention when I looked at the bottom of the deck. It's Dragonfly Emergence. So what it's our connections with others that can help our true self emerge. It's connection with others that can bring about blessings, that can support us in this time of transformation with rebirth there. And also help us to remember who we are and our ancient wisdom that we carry through us throughout the generations. And then there's this card, Dance Celebration. So our friends and our connections, our loved ones, help us to have that sense of joy and an uplifted spirit. They help us to shift energy. I know, that's what dancing does as well. Helps you to listen to the body and shift energy. So, okay. Yeah, I haven't even shuffled this deck, but this is the unfoldment. This is what we've all been going through, like the process of the lotus, like working through so much stuff, and then we rise to the top, and it's beautiful how we open up. That's the rebirth card that we saw before. So this is our passion ignited throughout this process. That's what it gets us closest to. And then this, I took that sigh of that breath then, because this journey is so much and it encompasses so much. And we've all been through so much, and we need to stop and breathe and slow down and just take in where we're at. And like I said at the start of the reading, where we've been, like where we've come from. Yeah. it's so much, right? It's so much, this whole process, the process of the lotus. The next card I'm looking at is DNA Karma. So let's just see. Now I'm going to shuffle the deck, and we'll see what wants to come out. Okay, so we've got two here. We've got Meadow, Vulnerability. These two cards both came out in reverse. So there you've got Eagle, Communion. So I do feel like many of you will be feeling a lot. Of course, someone's starting up a mower. Why wouldn't they? It's the perfect time. Okay, so yeah, with this vulnerability in reverse, it's like it's like the Strength card we showed at the first. So at the start, so you might be noticing how you are strengthened, and perhaps places where you used to feel vulnerable are not vulnerable spaces for you anymore because of all you've grown through, and your healing work that you've done as well. So then you've got Eagle, Communion in reverse. So this card feels quite balanced in the context of this reading, because before I was talking a lot about connection, how our connection with others is really important, but also to our time within, our inner connection is very important as well, so that we can see, so that we can listen, and we go within. So that's very balanced. Okay, let's pick a tarot and see what wants to come out next. I haven't chosen a tarot yet, but I'm going to choose one right now. So let's see. Bear with. Okay. Alright, so what is the tarot story that's going to be most supportive for those who are connecting with this reading today? What is the story? We've got the Emperor on the side. So, yeah, some of you are moving through this. On the bottom, you have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. So, you know, some of you may not be feeling that you're in process of re-empowering and regaining your strength. And that's okay wherever you are in your part of the process. You know, and then this is balancing out. So, that's kind of representing the day-to-day work we do to try and keep our lives in a form of balance. The daily practice, you might say. So let's just see what else. Or it could be that some days you're feeling stronger than others, and that's okay as well. Like, we can't, be maintaining one particular thing the whole time. You know, we are complex beings that move through a lot of different feelings, emotions, and states throughout the day. Here you've got the Three of Wands and the Five of Cups. So it feels like some of you are perhaps looking outside yourself, waiting for something to come in, waiting for there to be a shift in perhaps how you're feeling. Okay, let's see what else. Yeah, Three of Swords just came out. Three of Swords came out and kind of on the side. So there is a sadness here. What is this sadness about for the collective here? Or for those that are connecting? Wow. Transformation. Okay, so the sadness could be about just the rebirth process, the transformation that you're in your own life, and also it could be a collective thing as far as the transformation that the whole world is going through, because we are in such fast changing times. So there could be a collective sorrow that's being picked up there as well. Let's see what else about this. Okay, we've got the Eight of Wands here. Wow, I've actually got a block as to what the Eight of Wands even is. That's really weird. Okay, hang on. Seven of Pentacles in reverse and the Two of Pentacles. So it could be something here that you want to release and let go, that you're trying to bring into balance. Like, I'm literally having to look up the Eight of Wands, which is bizarre, I know. It's crazy, but it is what it is, alright. Don't be judging me. Oh yeah, Eight of Wands, of course. Okay, it's just because of the imagery that threw me off there. So Eight of Wands, communication, right? Okay. So you might be trying to balance out the way you're telling your own story, is what I'm getting. Like how you look at where you've been, or communicating something about your future. I don't know, it's trying to balance something. Perhaps I feel like it's something to do with reconciling the past and the future. Like what the way the world was and the way the world is now. And it's trying to reconcile, like I said, those two things. And then we've got the Wheel of Fortune that flipped out in reverse. Why is the Wheel of Fortune in reverse? Okay, so yeah, that's what I was feeling into. Like, it feels like there's a pause here in the middle, as you try and rebalance. It's like you're not moving forward yet because there's something that needs to be released or let go of that you've been holding onto too tightly. You may have to make a decision about that. You've got Judgment on the side. It could be that you know that you need to release that and let that go, whatever that is, because it's actually blocking you from having a better life than what you're actually having now. It's blocking emotional wellness on some level. So that it's showing like that there needs to be this decision, or you're in process of making a decision, and this could be something that you've held very deep down, right? And that's why it's been hard to let go, because you had to be able to fully see it first to release it. But once you do, it's going to help you, this Nine of Cups energy come up, right? Okay, we've got the High Priestess up right there, and then we've also got the Knight of Pentacles. So yeah, I feel like there is going to be wisdom gained, like moving forward through whatever this experience is for you. I'm not even actually sure exactly what it is, but there you've got the Sun. So yeah, the thing is, when you open up and release that and let that go, whatever it was that's kind of holding you back, and it could be something that's very like in the 3D world as well. So I'm getting something about the two world split here, which some of you may have heard of or whatever. But it's kind of like, which dimension do you want to be in? Which reality do you want to be in? There's a choice to be made. That might be where the decision is to be made. So release and let go of the old, which could be more 3D ways of living. So more heavier, more heavier ways of living that you don't need to live that way in this time, right? So yeah, Knight of Pentacles. If it's hard for you to move forward and make that decision, just like do it one step at a time, slow and steady. Do it in a nurturing way. That can be, what is the other animal here? There's a bear. Oh, it's a little baby bear. It's two bears. Okay, so it's kind of like, again, do it in a way that supports all of who you are, like your inner child, your adult self, all in between, whatever. Knight of Pentacles, just take those slow, steady steps forward, and free yourself. Free yourself from mental traps of the past that would keep you in a holding place, right? Okay, so Eight of Cups, yeah. So that is the bridge to moving on to something that makes you much happier. I am going to leave that tarot story there, but if you would like a personal reading, you can always reach out. Let's just jump into the astro message right now and see what else. Hope you're getting some sunshine wherever you are. I'm sitting in the sun right now. It's very nice. It's very warm. I'm almost sweating, I tell you. I've got to take a jumper off or something. It's like summer out here, even though it's winter. All right, let's just see. What is the astro message? But I would say too, even with this Eight of Cups there, like you could do a visualization where you see yourself moving through or moving out of whatever it is, or wherever you've been blocked. See yourself stepping into where it is and what the feeling is that you want to step into. Like, see that vision yourself, your life, how you want to be, how you want to feel, how you want to see yourself, you know, and feel it, embody it, right? Okay, so let's see, what is the astro message for those connecting with this reading? We've got Cancer, Immerse in reverse, and we've got Sagittarius, Expand in reverse, and then Mercury, Messages on the side. So I feel the way you communicate and receive communications throughout this process is going to be important. And look at how, this is what we said at the start about how communication, the way we speak to ourselves, the way we speak to others, can help motivate and encourage and fill someone with love, right? But then there's the other side of that, where sometimes people will through their words and their communication, you can actually stifle yourself or someone else by shutting them down, because you're not using language that inspires. It's, you know, what works for one person might not work for another person, that kind of thing. So making sure that communications with yourself and with others are expansive, that help you and others on their spiritual path. So the messages we give ourselves and others is very important as we move forward. And then we've got Cancer, immerse. So this is like a nurturing aspect that we could take action on, I would say, because isn't Mars in Cancer? I think, pretty sure. So, you know, take action on letting yourself know that you care about yourself, letting those you love around you know that you care about them. It's just coming from a nurturing space, which can come into that communication as well. So that can be quite expansive, because when people are in the energy of love and care, that's what helps them grow. Okay, so we know that from like what happens with babies and how their brains grow. They grow in connection with their caregivers. And, you know, they've done experiments and things like that in the past on babies. And the babies that were given a lot of love and care and nurture, their brains grow in healthy ways. And then there was babies who were neglected. Okay, the babies that were in orphanages and didn't receive any love or care, or were just left in their cots without connection, a lot of them died because they didn't have what they needed, which was connection and someone to grow off and grow with. So even babies that have abuse, their brain will still grow, because it's a communication, right? Abusive is still a communication, but their brains would be smaller and they will have brain damage because it's not nurturing communication and connection. Anyway, that's all a bit heavy, but you know, it's all relevant. It all matters, because that's our attachment styles can impact our whole lives. Not to say they're not changeable, but you know, just having an awareness of these things can help us in many ways. Anyway, all right, so we always got to go deep, don't we? But that's just who I am. I'm a deep person. I don't like to talk about the shallow stuff. We like to go to the deep places, because they're the places that we need to go sometimes. I feel like you can find the most gold there as well. Oh, now I'm sounding like a right little Irish leprechaun. Okay, I'm gonna stop. It's time to finish this reading now. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.